Find grams given the volume and molarity. Anytime you see grams, that means you're going to need the periodic table. The equation is molarity equals moles over liter. We are told how many grams. So what you're going to have to find is the molarity, moles, and then you're going to change it to grams afterwards. So our X is going to be here at the moles. And then it's of sodium hydroxide. We're going to have to translate sodium hydroxide. We'll do that in a moment. And then we want to make 875 milliliters. Remember, when you have milliliters, divide by 1,000 to make it liters. And then we're given 2.5 molar. So if I plug in what I have, it's 2.5 is my molarity equals X over, and then my liters, when I divide this, I get 0.875. We're going to put this over 1, and we're going to cross multiply in order to solve for X. When I cross multiply, I'm going to get X times 1 is just X equals, and then 2.5 times 0.875 is 2.1875. I'm going to round that to 2 sig figs based on this number, so it'll be 2.2. I'm actually going to leave it in my calculator because I don't want to round until the very end. Keep all of this since I'm not rounding until the end. Now that I have my moles, I want to change it to grams, but before I do that, I'm going to need to translate sodium hydroxide. Sodium on the periodic table is in group 1. It's going to be Na with a +1 charge. So Na, and it has a +1 charge. Hydroxide is a polyatomic ion, and that is this one, OH with a -1 charge. So it has a -1, and hydroxide is OH. +1 and -1 cancel, so the formula is just NaOH. Now we can do this. Convert the moles to grams. I'm going to put my moles over 1 times, draw a line, bring down moles. It's always 1 mole, and then I can go to grams. When I want grams, I'm going to go to the periodic table, and I'm going to add up sodium, which is 22.99, plus oxygen, which is 16, plus hydrogen, which is 1.008. 22.990 plus 15.999, or 16 is fine, plus 1.008 gives us 39.997. That's going to be my mass that goes here. Now I can solve this to get my final answer in grams. When I type my fractions in the calculator, I get 87.49, or rounded off to 87 grams of NaOH. And that would be my final answer. To recap, we went ahead and plugged in molarity equals X over the liters. I solved for X, which gave me the moles, and then I needed to convert from moles to gram, and so I did moles to gram by dimensional analysis. This came from the periodic table, and then I ended up with this as my final answer. So this was the algebra method. Now I'll show you the dimensional analysis method. We take our molarity first, and we realize that that 2.5 molar is exactly the same as 2.5 moles per 1 liter. Now I'll just take my given value, which is 875 milliliters. If you want to divide and make it liters, that's fine, but I'm going to do it all in dimensional analysis. So I'm going to put 875 milliliters over 1. Bring down milliliters, and I can go to liters because 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. Then I can bring down liter, and now I can use this. 1 liter equals 2.5 moles times, draw a line. Now I'm going to bring down the moles, and then we can go to the grams. 1 mole is equal to the mass from the periodic table, 39.997, and then equals milliliters cancel, liters cancel, moles cancel. I'm left with grams. If you plug in your fractions in the calculator, here's the mass over here, and hit equals, we get the same answer as before, of course, 87 grams of sodium hydroxide.